John, what would you do for a bit of consistency right now? I think it's win, drawn, loss is the run of form in recent weeks and months.
It's, I've said it all season. Results going about to a ball. You watch the thing back, and Tommy Lee does that job better than anybody in the league. 6-yard box heading it away. Sort of half gets pushed under it, possibly by his own man. And the safety net that we've always had there disappears, and then the lad out-muscles Joe, and their head hits the post, and that's us, it's hitting the post and coming out, it hits the post and goes in. And that's football for you. Big Radek's made one really good save, but apart from that, not really got troubled. We've had some great opportunities ourselves. And that's football, you just move on and just go on to the next game. I was speaking to Scott Lindsay after the game, and he came in apologised, and I said, well, don't apologise for winning. But he said he was disappointed that we'd made so many chances against them. That had annoyed him. So he said I made up of one. He said, but I'm still going back a little flat. And I said, you'll probably play a lot better than that and lose. And our problem is we don't generally play bad and win. I can't remember too many times when that happens with us. But the pleasing thing for me is we've got back to dominating the game and dominating the chances and asking questions of the opposition, and their goalkeepers pulls off 2 or 3 really good saves. And so if you're going in that way, you've got a chance of winning games if you're going to play like that.
Once again, injuries and suspensions kind of conspired to give opportunities to a couple of younger players to have Trickett from the start, to have Papula come off the subs bench. What will it do for players at their age and at their stage of development to be exposed to, in one case, starting and the other case, getting on in League Two games?
Well, I think you've seen it yesterday with Liverpool. It's all right coming on to these games for these youngsters, but they've got to be in a position where they compete and the team can compete. It's no point blooding a load of youngsters if you're going to get battered all the while, because then they don't gain anything from it, they don't learn anything from it, they get a little bit emotionally scarred, they get mentally a little bit scarred. So the pleasing thing is that we've played so many of the young lads and we're still competing in the game, and people might get it wrong and think I'm quite blind, because I thought we were just about the better team on Saturday. Not miles better than them, but we were better than them on Saturday, I think. That's my opinion. And the chances and the stats suggest that we were. I know they had more possession than us, but we certainly had a lot more shots than them, and particularly the ones on target. So if the young lads are coming in and they're not, they don't feel as though they're going to get overrun, then I think that is an opportunity to build, and for them to build their careers. You wouldn't like too many in, so 1 or 2 is probably the optimum. Once you start getting to 3 or 4, it gets diluted too much that they're starting to learn off other youngsters then, so you don't really want that. And just little nuances that they can, next time they get in a situation, they might do something different, and we can help them with that, and that's the plan.
You did get Cody Doan back on the pitch. I think you've been crying out for a while for some depth in that senior forward area. How important might he be in the running?
I like Cody, and he brings lots to the party. He can be frustrating at times, but he's certainly not experienced. That's the thing, he's just more experienced than the others, and I get your point on that, but he does good things, he does bad things. He's just got to try and get more good things. Prior to him getting injured, prior to being out the team, and he let his head drop a little bit, he'd had a really good run when he played 4 or 5 games. He was handful every game. I just got to get back to that. Simple as.
It feels like I ask you every week, what's the injury situation? How far away are any? Is there any reinforcements coming over the hill?
Every time I hear coming over the hill, I think of Andy Proctor. So What's that coming over the hill? It's Andrew Proctor. Yeah. He could still play, Brock, by the way. I don't think Endo's going to be fit for tomorrow. Not sure about Josh Woods. Tommy Lee, 50-50. Brad's still suspended, obviously. So we'll just see what we can get out of them, the shape, and then.
With the experience that these younger ones are getting, is it human nature to think about the future, to think about next year, the next however many years? We've just been talking to Angelo Papula, and I said he could play for 20 years. Do you think about how they might develop, or is the onus on a game on Tuesday night, a game on Saturday, and taking 3 points?
The future's now, isn't it? In football, certainly as a football manager, the future's now. Keeping hold of them then becomes another problem. And if we knew we were going to keep hold of them, I think there's 3 or 4 of them who will develop into really good players. And so, yeah, that would give you the basis of a good side in 2 or 3 years' time. Or certainly the core of it. But you've got to add to that before you can't just water it right down till then and then hope that they're going to be able to be ready in 3 or 4 years' time to carry a team. You're mindful of the fact that it's a very, very tough business competing in a football league. And we've said it before, our fans are magnificent. Just the only thing that's lacking is numbers. And so if you're going to compete in this league, unfortunately you need people through the gate to be able to provide more money to get a better standard of player that is consistently going to be able to compete in this league. And that's the chicken and egg situation. And because we've done it over the years and we've managed to get good players on little money and grow them and move them on and get their service from a batch of them each time around, that enables you to compete. The worry is that when you don't get that and you don't get the standard, a little bit like similar to last year when we couldn't really recruit the ones that we wanted for one because they wouldn't want to come, and then we had ones who might go on to be good players in 2 or 3 years' time, but we were getting a little bit clogged up with the under-23s as well, in the fact that we had a lot available to play for the early part of the season. And then quickly we had to rely on them, and the standard just wasn't good enough. They weren't ready yet for a big batch of them and to play a big part of the season. And that's a worry that going forwards, you need to have a little bit of strength and depth, and you need to have a little bit of experience no matter what you say. And I think if anything hammers that home more than anything, it's Calvin Mellor's last 3 performances, because that's the one thing he's brought to the party is his experience, his know-how, his understanding of the game, which you don't just learn it overnight. I know myself as a striker, the things that I did when I was 17, 18, bursting onto non-league. And then by the time I was 30, I was a lot cuter and I scored more goals and took a higher percentage of chances when I was 29 and 30, because I knew where to go and when to go, and it becomes second nature. You only get that through playing. So hopefully these lads will get a lot of games and go on to make the club a lot of money.
How much of a new experience might it be for some of these younger players to go to Walsall, who have a style of play that is different to what you might see elsewhere?
Well, this is the good exposure. They go through the academies and they get taught to play. And part of the education programme and the football education programme is to get taught to play a lot of positions. To get taught to play in a lot of shapes. So 4-3-3, 4-4-2, 3-5-2. All different ones. A box, and Nottingham prepares you for actually playing up against them styles and playing up against different philosophies of football and styles of football. Nottingham will enhance your learning better than that. And I go back to when we had Lloyd Jones here on loan from Liverpool. And now I always get Hartlepool and Darlington mixed up, so forgive me for this one. I think it was Hartlepool. And we're away, and he played against Marlon Harewood, and he had half a game against Marlon Harewood, and he probably learnt more than that out 45 minutes from a really tough, experienced striker who'd played at the top level. Then all through his EPPP and all through his the theory of it, the actual practicality of being up against a big, strong centre forward. That's how you learn.
3 wins in a row for Walsall, I think it is. 1 defeat in 8. Matt Sadler is getting a tune out of this team. How impressed have you been? I know you beat them just before Christmas.
Yeah, and I watched the game against Morecambe, and very much not in the game. Probably Morecambe were a better team in the first half, but they took the chances, and they're capable of taking chances. So that's one thing we've got to negate. We know the style of football they're going to play. We've got to come up with a plan to play, to try and stamp our brand of football onto the game and make that be the dominant factor.